Good morning, students. Today also we have to continue with the straight lines. Yesterday we have discussed some problems. In that, the last problem I want to discuss again. So this is a problem which I have created using the normal form of a straight line. So I want to discuss it again because at the end of the class I have discussed it hurriedly in the last class, but I want to explain it again. See, the question is the triangle formed by the lines. So equations of three straight lines are given. X cos pi by 9 plus y sin pi by 9 is equal to pi by 9, etc. The lines equations are looking very nice, is it not? Yesterday I have described them as sweets arranged in a sweet shop. So they are so nice to see. Okay, they are forming what type of triangle? Is it equilateral or isosceles or scalene? So here all the three lines are in the form, in the normal form. What is normal form? X cos alpha plus y sin alpha is equal to P. In that, P is the perpendicular distance from the origin to the line. And what is alpha? Alpha is not the inclination of the line. It is the inclination of the perpendicular ray from the origin to the line. From the origin, a perpendicular ray is dropped towards the line. Ray means it goes only one side. Starting from origin, it goes perpendicular to the line, towards the line, and goes up to infinity. That is called a ray. That ray, whatever angle it makes with the positive direction of x-axis, that is called the inclination of that ray. So alpha in this formula is the inclination of the perpendicular ray, not the inclination of the line. Is it? So that point is very important. Okay, here pi by 9 radians means 20 degrees because pi radians is equal to 180 degrees. 180 by 9, 20 degrees. So 7 pi by 9 in the second case, second line, that means 7 into 20, 140. 13 pi by 9, 13 into 20, 260. So first line 20 degrees, second line 140 degrees, third line 260 degrees. What did you notice here? They are in AP. 20 plus 120 is 140, second angle. 140 plus 120 is 260. That is the next angle. So that is, observe that. So I have written here. So what is the, let us draw the first line. Let us draw the first line and see how to draw the line x cos alpha plus y sin alpha is equal to P. I have explained in an example previously. First we have to measure x cos alpha plus y sin alpha is equal to P. First we have to take a line making an angle alpha with the positive direction of x-axis. For the first line, alpha is pi by 9, 20 degrees. So see the diagram. O is the origin. So OP, the line OP, you see, the line OP produced this line. Okay, this is the line I am referring to. The line OP produced is making what angle with the positive direction of x-axis? So clearly I have mentioned here 20 degrees. That is the angle made by the normal ray towards the line, first line with the positive direction of x-axis. So that line first you have to draw. So I have drawn. On that line at a distance of P, what is P? P for the first line is pi by 9. Pi by 9 means pi is approximately 22 by 7. By 9 means 22 by 7 into 9 means 22 by 63 approximately. So it is approximately 1/3. So 1 by 3 units. So measure from the origin, P is at a distance of pi by 9 units. So the distance from origin to the point P on this line making an angle 20 degrees with the positive direction of x-axis is OP is pi by 9. Here I have written OP is pi by 9. So after marking the point on that line, there you have to draw a perpendicular line to OP. To the normal ray, you have to draw a perpendicular line. So this is the normal ray. So at P, I have drawn a perpendicular line. So 90 degrees I have shown in green color here. Okay. So this line is the first line. That is x cos pi by 9 plus y sin pi by 9 is equal to pi by 9. Okay. Remember that this angle is 20 degrees. The angle made by OP with x-axis, positive direction of x-axis. Okay, let us draw the second line. For the second line, what is alpha? 7 pi by 9, 140 degrees. So this line, first I have to draw the normal ray. Is it not? OQ, see the diagram. OQ produced. So I have put an arrow mark here at the end. So OQ produced is the ray. It is making what angle with the positive direction of x-axis? 7 pi by 9 means 140 degrees. So already from the positive direction of x-axis already 20 degrees is marked. So you mark another 120 degrees. So total 140 degrees. Is it not? So this line is making what angle? 140 degrees with the x-axis. This OQ line is making 140 degrees with x-axis. The line OQ is making what angle with the line OP? Not x-axis OP. It is 120 only. This 20 plus 120, 140. See that is. So I have marked a line with inclination 7 pi by 9. Then afterwards what I have to do? What is P for the second line? 7 pi by 9. So at a distance of 7 pi by 9, OQ is what? 7 pi by 9. I have written here, you can see. OQ is what? 7 pi by 9. So on this line you measure a distance of 7 pi by 9, which is 7 times OP actually. But I have not drawn the diagram to scale. Approximately I have drawn it. So OQ must be 7 times OP actually. So that is not important here. The distance is not important. Okay. So OQ 7 pi by 9. After measuring it, what I have to do? I have to draw a line perpendicular to OQ. So this is the line perpendicular to OQ I have drawn. This is the second line. X cos 7 pi by 9 plus y sin 7 pi by 9 is equal to 7 pi by 9. So this is first line. And this is second line, okay, of the triangle. So they are intersecting at what point? Point A. You can see they are intersecting at a point A in the second quadrant approximately. So there I have shown an angle 60 degrees here. How it is 60 degrees? Let us prove it. Consider the quadrilateral OPAQ. OPAQ quadrilateral. In this, what is the angle at P? 90 degrees. That is green color I have marked. What is the angle at Q? That is also 90 degrees. Okay, total 180 is over. Therefore, remaining angles sum must be 180 because total sum is 360 degrees. So, remaining angles, one of them is 120. See, I have kept intentionally 120. Here, the difference between 20 and 140 I have intentionally kept 120 here. So therefore the remaining angle here of the quadrilateral, fourth angle, must be 60 degrees. So in a quadrilateral, two angles are 90 degrees, 90 degrees, and third angle is 120 degrees. What must be the fourth angle? It must be 60 degrees. So that is how the equilateral triangle is being formed. You can see the third line also. Third line x cos 13 pi by 9. So 13 pi by 9 means what? 260 degrees. So already for the second line 140 degrees is over. From the positive direction of x-axis, if you rotate anti-clockwise, first 20 degrees, then 120 degrees, 140 is over. Therefore, if you rotate by another 120 here, I am showing here this 120, then this line OR will make what angle with the positive direction of x-axis? Total to 260 degrees. 20 plus 120 plus 120. So OR makes 260 degrees with the positive direction of x-axis. That 260 degrees is nothing but alpha for the third line. So after drawing that ray OR up to infinity, making an angle 260 degrees with the positive direction of x-axis, next what is the step we have to be made to draw the third line? P is 13 pi by 9. So from the origin at a distance of 13 pi by 9, we have to mark the point R. So here I have written, you see, OR is equal to 13 pi by 9. OP is what? Pi by 9. So OR is actually 13 times OP. But here I have shown 13 times, because if I show 13 times I will go out of the board. Okay. So anyhow that distance is not important here. Okay. So 13 pi by 9, at a distance of 13 pi by 9, R is located. After marking R, what we have to do? We have to draw a perpendicular line to the ray OR. So that is our third line. X cos 13 pi by 9 plus y sin 13 pi by 9 is equal to 13 pi by 9. So you have to understand the normal form and parametric form also very carefully, because these are very, very important. Okay. So we have drawn this line. So then this third line here and this second line already drawn, they will intersect at B. And the third line and first line here they will intersect at C. Therefore A, B, C is the triangle formed. Angle A already we have shown that it is 60 degrees. How angle B is 60 degrees? Which quadrilateral we have to consider? See, O, Q, B, R. See, O origin, Q here, B here, okay, R here. This quadrilateral you consider. What about the angle at Q? 90 degrees. What about the angle at R? 90 degrees. What about the angle here at the origin? 120 degrees. See, that difference I have intentionally kept. First 20 I have taken, then 140, difference is 120. After 140, another difference of 120 I have taken 260. That is why at the origin you will get to 120 here difference. Okay. So in the quadrilateral, one angle 90, another angle 90, third angle 120. Therefore fourth angle must be 60, so that the sum is 360 degrees. So this is how the second angle is 60. So in a triangle, one angle is 60, second angle is also 60, means the third angle must be 60. So that is how the equilateral triangle is being formed. So you see in the other quadrilateral here, OR CP. Here, did you agree that angle at O is, see the quadrilateral again, OR CP. In this quadrilateral, angle at the origin is 120 or not? 100 here, plus 20 in the first quadrant. 100 in the fourth quadrant, 20 in the first quadrant. Total 120. So, these three normal rays, OP, OQ, OR, are dividing the total angle 360 degrees at the origin into three equal parts. So, that is why an equilateral triangle is being formed here. So, again, so here at angle at origin is 120, angle at R is 90, angle at P is 90, so remaining angle must be 60. So, this is clearly an equilateral triangle. So here I have written, see, the normal rays OP, OQ, OR divide 360 degrees at the origin into three equal parts. So that is why an equilateral triangle is being formed. So I have taken about 15 minutes to describe this, because I think this normal form is very important. You have to understand what is alpha and what is P in the normal form very clearly. Okay, so let us go to the next example. So let us see this one. In triangle ABC, A is 1 comma 2 and the equations of the medians through B and C are x plus y is equal to 5 and x is equal to 4 respectively. Then the length of the side BC is. Please refer to the diagram first. I have drawn a triangle ABC. A I have marked 1 comma 2. Okay. So medians B through B and C. So D is, I will draw the medians. To draw the medians, first I have to mark the midpoints of the sides. D is the midpoint of the side BC. E is the midpoint of the side AC. F is the midpoint of the side AB. So I have marked midpoints by drawing 3 lines, 1 line, 2 lines. Okay. This 2 means they are equal. So F is the midpoint. This is 1 means E is the midpoint. They are equal. So this is 3 lines, this is 3 lines means D is the midpoint. Okay. So equation of the medians through B and C. So what is the median through B? Joining B and E. That is x plus y is equal to 5. So I have marked x plus y is equal to 5 on this line. Next, through C. Through C, what is the median? This CF. It is given as x is equal to 4 line. So on the line CF, I have marked x is equal to 4. Okay. That's all. That is what is given in the problem. Vertex A is given. Equations of 2 medians are given. Then the length of the side BC is. Length of the side BC. So first what we do is find the points B and C, and then afterwards we can find the distance between them. Okay, first medians BE and CF are given. Therefore, what is their point of intersection? Is it not centroid? Medians will intersect at the centroid. 3 medians are concurrent at the centroid. Therefore, solve these 2 lines. X is equal to 4 and x plus y is equal to 5. The 2 medians, if you solve, you will get the centroid. Okay. So x is equal to 4. You put it in the first equation, x plus y is equal to 5. Then what do you get? Y is equal to 1. So x is equal to 4. If you put here, you are getting y is equal to 1. Therefore, the center of gravity, centroid must be 4 comma 1. Their point of intersection. I have marked here. But using, can you find D? AD is also median, is it not? A is known. G is known. Can you find D? Yes, we can find D by using the ratio 2:1. Centroid divides every median in the ratio 2:1. So AG is to GD is equal to 2:1. So therefore, first what we do is let D be H comma K. We don't know D, let it be H comma K. So AD is being divided by centroid in the ratio 2:1. So find the point dividing AD in the ratio 2:1 internally. So here, this point. So 2 into this side H plus 1 into that side 1. 2h plus 1 by 3 as here, comma similarly y coordinate is what? 2k plus 2 by 3, 2k plus 2 by 3, that must be equal to the centroid 4 comma 1. 4 comma 1. Therefore, 2h plus 1 by 3 is equal to 4. Therefore, what happens? 2h plus 1 equal to 12, 2h is equal to 11, h is equal to 11 by 2. Okay. H is equal to 11 by 2 you obtained. Similarly, equating y coordinate 2k plus 2 by 3 is equal to 1. So 2k plus 2 is equal to 3. 2k is equal to 1. K is equal to 1 by 2. So the point h comma k is obtained. So that I have marked here in the diagram. 11 by 2, 1 by 2. Okay. Now consider the line side BC. B is lying on which line? Is it not lying on the line x plus y is equal to 5, the median? See the median B, x plus y is equal to 5. So B is lying on that line. So you can, if you take x coordinate as P, so put P here. What do you get for y? Y coordinate 5 minus P. So the any point on this line can be taken in the form P comma 5 minus P, because it is lying on the line x plus y is equal to 5. Okay, C, how do you take it? C is lying on the median CF, you see. CF is given here, the equation. X is equal to 4. So because it is lying on the line x equal to 4, for C also x coordinate must be 4. Let the y coordinate be Q. So C 4 comma Q you can take. But for B and C, D is the midpoint, and midpoint is known 11 by 2, 1 by 2. So that we can use it. Okay. So here I have written P and written B. So B is P comma 5 minus P. This is C 4 comma Q. Their midpoint. D is the midpoint of BC. What is the midpoint of BC? X coordinate P plus 4 by 2. P plus 4 by 2 should be equal to 11 by 2, because already we know the midpoint 11 by 2, 1 by 2. So therefore cancelling out to 2, you will get what? P plus 4 is equal to 11 means P is equal to 7. Similarly, y coordinate of B is 5 minus P, y coordinate of C is Q. So 5 minus P plus Q by 2 should be equal to 1 by 2. D is y coordinate. Okay. So 2 can be cancelled. But P is already obtained here 7. That also you can put it here. 5 minus 7 plus Q by 2. 2 is already gone. So 5 minus 7 plus Q is equal to 1. So minus 2 plus Q is equal to 1 means Q is equal to 1 plus 2, 3. So P 7 and Q 3. Put them there. P 7 means B is what? Here if you put P is equal to 7, if you put, what do you get for B? 7 comma 5 minus 7 means 7 comma minus 2. Okay, that is B. Q is equal to 3. Okay, put it here in the point C. So C is 4 comma 3. So B and C are obtained. Now you can find the length of the side BC, which is nothing but the distance between B and C. So BC square is equal to 7 minus 4 whole square plus minus 2 minus 3 whole square. So that is 3 square 9. Minus 5 whole square is 25. So 34. So BC square 34 means BC is equal to root 34. Root 34 is in the option C. Therefore option C is correct. Okay, let us go to the next example. The point minus 2 comma 3 lies on the line 4x minus 3y plus k is equal to 0. Find k and also find the 2 points B and C on the line which are at a distance of 10 units from A. Okay. See, the first part, finding k is very easy, is it not? The point minus 2 comma 3 lies on this line. So substitute in the line and find the value of. So A minus 2, 3 lies on the line. So therefore the point must satisfy the equation. So 4 into minus 2 minus 3 into 3 plus k is equal to 0. Minus 8 minus 9, that is minus 17 plus k is equal to 0 means k is equal to 17. So put k is equal to 17 here and draw the line. Okay. So 4x minus 3y plus 17 is equal to 0. I have drawn a diagram, that is the line. On that line, a point A minus 2 comma 3 is given. So now we have to find 2 points B on one side of A and C on the other side of A at equal distance of 10 units from A. So that means A will be midpoint of B and C. Okay. So 10 units. So which form you have to use here? 10 units distance. So distance form or parametric form we have to use. x is equal to x1 plus r cos theta, y is equal to y1 plus r sin theta. So the distance form we should use it. So we can use parametric form, which is also called distance form, to find b and c. So for that x1 plus r cos, what is r here? R is 10 here. For one point r will be plus 10, for other point r will be minus 10. One side you have to take positive value for r, another side you have to take negative value for r. Next, what is x1 y1? x1 y1 is nothing but the given point on the line, that is minus 2 comma 3. What about cos theta and sin theta? You have to find the slope of the line. Slope of the line is tan theta. So from that you have to find the values of cos theta and sin theta. Okay. So what is the slope of the line? Line is here, 4x minus 3y plus 17 is equal to 0. What is the slope of the line? That is tan theta is what? Slope of the line ax plus by plus c is equal to 0 is minus a by b. So minus of coefficient of x by coefficient of y. So minus 4 by minus 3, that is 4 by 3. That is tan theta. So I have drawn a diagram, right angle triangle, tan theta 4 by 3. So opposite side 4, adjacent side 3, hypotenuse is 5. So what is cos theta? From the diagram, 3 by 5. What is sin theta? 4 by 5. So everything is ready. So a x1 y1 is given point minus 2 comma 3. R is 10 units, the distance for one point. For other point, of course, R is minus 10. Then what is B? B is at a distance of 10 units from A. So it is, its x coordinate is x1 plus r cos theta, y1 plus r sin theta. So x1 y1 values you put here, x1 minus 2, y1 3. R is 10 I have put. And cos theta, sin theta. Cos theta is 3 by 5 here and sin theta is 4 by 5 here. Then what happens? Here if you see minus 2 plus 6, okay. And here y coordinate 3 plus 8, okay. So that is 4 comma 11. So for the other point on the other side of A, just you have to replace r by minus r. That means in between the sign will change. Here minus 2 plus r, 3 minus 8. So in place of plus sign you will get minus sign, that's all. And in place of plus sign here you get minus sign, because only r we are changing sign. That means this x coordinate is minus 8, y coordinate is minus 5. So I have marked the points 4 comma 11 B here and minus 8 comma minus 5, that is C here. So now you can verify whether your answers are correct or not. First thing what you have to do is whether the point 4 comma 11 is lying on this line 4x minus 3y plus 17 is equal to, substitute and see, 16 minus 33 plus 17, yes, it is 0. Similarly, whether this point minus 8 minus 5 is lying on the line or not, you can check up. Minus 32 plus 15 plus 17 is equal to 0, correct. That point is also lying. For A and B, for B and C, A must be midpoint. Check it. So minus 8 plus 4 by 2, minus 2, okay. Y coordinate minus 5 plus 11 by 2, 3, okay. Midpoint is also okay. Is it enough? No, it is not enough. The points must be at a distance of 10 units. What is the distance between minus 2, 3 and 4, 11? So x coordinate difference 6, y coordinate difference 8. 6, 8, root of 6 square plus 8 square, 10. Okay. This side also you can verify. A and C, what is the distance? X coordinate difference 6, y coordinate difference 8. Again 6 and 8, so root of 6 square plus 8 square, 10. So everything is okay. These are the correct answers. Okay, let us see the example number 24. 1, 2, 3, 6 are two opposite vertices of a rectangle, and if the other two vertices lie on the line 2y is equal to x plus c, then find C, then C, and other two vertices are. He is asking the value of the constant C and also the other two vertices. Okay, Please refer to the diagram here. ABCD is a rectangle. ABCD is a rectangle. 1, 2, 3, 6 are two opposite vertices, means they are diagonally opposite vertices. See, suppose A and B are given, we should say that two adjacent vertices are. A and B are called two adjacent vertices. Opposite vertices means diagonally opposite vertices only. So, I have taken A 1, 2 and diagonally opposite vertex C as 3, 6. Okay. So, first of all, the other two vertices are lying on the line 2y is equal to x plus c, means the equation of the diagonal BD is given. The other two vertices B and D are lying on what line? The diagonal BD, its equation is given. So, here first point is, in a rectangle the diagonals are equal in length and also they bisect each other. That is the important point. So, bisect each other means what? Their point of intersection E in the diagram is not only the midpoint of AC but also the midpoint of BD. That means E, can you find out, because A and C are given, midpoint of A and C, A plus C by 2 here. A plus C by 2 means x1 plus x2 by 2, y1 plus y2 by 2. So, 1 plus 3 by 2, 2 plus 6 by 2, so you get 2 comma 4, I have marked here. And that is also the midpoint of B and D. So, I have shown these two lines here means that is also midpoint of BD. Then what about AE? AE, EC, see the diagram, AE, EC, DE, EB. All these are equal because diagonals are equal in length and they bisect each other. Each is equal to root 5 because AE is equal to root 5. Calculate AE square, this point and this point distance whole square. 1 minus 2 whole square plus 2 minus 4 whole square, that is 1 square plus 2 square 5. AE square is 5 means AE is equal to root 5. So, AE is root 5, EC is root 5, DE is root 5, EB also root 5. So, to find the other two vertices B and D, which are lying on the line here, is it not? So, we know a point E. At what distance we have to find? Root 5, root 5. So, parametric equations are suitable. Our given point 2 comma 4, x1 y1, that is taken as x1 y1. R is taken as root 5 for one point minus root 5 for another point, and tan theta can be obtained from the equation of this line 2y is equal to x plus c. So, 2y is equal to x plus c. Let us take the equation of the diagonal BD. In this already we have obtained, first we have to find c. So, this point 2 comma 4, that is the midpoint of AC, also lies on the line BD. So, if you substitute that point here, you will get the value of C. So, E 2 comma 4 lies on the line 2y is equal to x plus c, 2 into 4 is equal to 2 plus c. So, c is equal to 6. Okay, c is equal to 6. So, what is the equation of the line now? 2y is equal to x plus 6. Then divide by 2. I am putting it in the intercept form, y is equal to mx plus c. So, y is equal to 1 by 2 into x plus 3. So, m is 1 by 2, y intercept is 3. So, m is 1 by 2 means slope is tan theta is equal to 1 by 2. So, draw a right angle triangle, tan theta 1 by 2, hypotenuse root 5. So, therefore, cos theta is what? 2 by root 5, sorry, I have not put root here. Sin theta is 1 by root 5. So, everything is ready now. Sin theta, cos theta, x1, y1, r. So, let us go to the next page. 2 comma 4 x1 y1, r is root 5 sin theta cos theta. So, okay. So, use parametric equations for the line BD to find B and D. So, E x1 y1 is 2 comma 4, r is plus or minus root 5 since ED EB is equal to root 5. So, everything is known. Cos theta, sin theta, what are they? Let us go and see. Cos theta 2 by root 5, sin theta 1 by root 5. Okay, let us go forward. Cos theta 2 by root 5 sin theta 1 by root 5. So these values x1 plus or minus r cos theta, b and d together. So x1 plus or minus r cos theta, y1 plus or minus r sin theta. x1 is 2, y1 is 4. I have put here and here. R is what? Root 5. Plus or minus root 5 plus or minus root 5. Cos theta 2 by root 5. Here I have put. And sin theta 1 by root 5 I have put. So root 5 gets cancelled. So 2 plus or minus 2. Here also root 5 gets cancelled. 4 plus or minus 1. If you take plus sign, you will get 4 here, 5 here. By taking plus sign, you get this point. If you take minus sign, 2 minus 2, 0, 4 minus 1, 3. So these are the other two vertices B and D. So that is written here. So we have found the value of C is 6. B and D are 4, 5, 0, 3. Which option is correct? Let us go back and see. As first option is correct. C is 6 and other two vertices are 4, 5 and 0, 3. Okay. Let us see the next example. The distance of a point. See, I have written at the top important formula. So we are going to derive an important formula in this example. The distance of a point x1 comma y1 from the line ax plus by plus c is equal to 0 measured along a line making an angle theta with the x-axis is. Please refer to the diagram. So here I have marked origin and I have taken x-axis only. Y-axis is not required. Okay. So this is the given line. Ax plus by plus c is equal to 0 is the given line. Okay. And given point x1 comma y1 is here. See, AC, if you drop a perpendicular, then that distance between A and C is called the perpendicular distance from the point to the line. But here he does not want the perpendicular line. He wants the distance from the point to the line in a particular direction, making an angle theta with the x-axis. See, this line, black line, it is passing through A and it is making what angle with the positive direction of x-axis? This is x-axis, theta. So, along this line, if you go up to the line, you will reach the line here at B. So, what is the distance AB is asking? So, he is asking the distance from the point to the given line, not perpendicular to the line, but in a specified direction. With reference to the x-axis, it must make an angle theta. That means for this line, inclination is theta and slope is tan theta. So here also he wants the distance. So parametric form is useful. So this distance AB, let it be R. I have written here. So this point is known x1, y1. On this line making an angle theta, at a distance of r units from A, there lies suppose a point B x comma y. What are its coordinates? X is equal to x1 plus r cos theta, y is equal to y1 plus r sin theta. So B I have written clearly. x1 plus r cos theta, y1 plus r sin theta. But B lies on the line ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. Therefore, by substituting this point in this line, you can easily find the value of r. So I am substituting this point. So A into x1 plus r cos theta plus B into y coordinate is y1 plus r sin theta plus c is equal to 0. Here I get ax1, here I get by1, at the end c. So I combine them into a bracket, that is a constant. In the remaining two terms, r is common. So ar cos theta. Here br sin theta. R is common, in the bracket you get a cos theta plus b sin theta. Now you take this bracket ax1 plus by1 plus c to the other side. It becomes minus of ax1 plus by1 plus c. Now divide by a cos theta plus b sin theta to find the distance r. But r is nothing but AB only. So therefore AB is equal to actually minus of ax1 plus by1 plus c by a cos theta plus b sin theta, but because AB is distance, you can take the modulus of that. So that is the final formula, mod of ax1 plus by1 plus c by a cos theta plus b sin theta. See, if you use this formula, you may get sometimes a negative, because the line may be below the point. From the line, if you are going up towards the line, then you will get positive value. Suppose the line is below and the point is above, then you have to come down, is it not? In that case, or you will get negative. But we don't want the sign, we want the distance means positive value only, therefore you can take the modulus. So this is an important formula I have mentioned here at the top. Please remember this formula. Let us do an example on this. Okay. So the distance between the point A 2, 3 on the line of gradient 3 by 4. Gradient is nothing but slope. Okay. Gradient means slope. This is another term, another word used for slope. Okay. So apply the formula obtained in the previous example 25. The distance between the point A 2, 3, please refer to the diagram, on the line of gradient 3 by 4 and the point of intersection P of this line with 5x plus, see 5x plus 7 by plus 40 is equal to 0 is this line, pink line. That is our ax plus by plus c is equal to 0 in the formula. The given point x1 y1 is a 2, 3 here. So in what direction you have to go? We have to go in a direction whose gradient is 3 by 4. That means this is x-axis. So this line, if it makes an angle theta with the positive direction of x-axis, then tan theta is called slope and also it is gradient. So the tan theta is given as 3 by 4 here. Tan theta is 3 by 4. You can draw the diagram for theta 3 by 4. So hypotenuse will be 5. So cos theta 4 by 5, sin theta 3 by 5. So everything is ready. Cos theta, sin theta, x1, y1 here. Ax plus by plus c is equal to 0 here. So what is the distance? So distance only wants. So use the formula mod of ax1 plus by1 plus c by a cos theta plus b sin theta. That means numerator ax1 plus by1 plus c means this point a 2, 3 we have to substitute in this line. So 5 into 2 plus 7 into 3 plus 40 divided by a cos theta plus b sin theta. A is 5, cos theta sin theta here 4 by 5 plus b is again here y coefficient 7 plus sin theta is here 3 by 5. So 10 plus 21 plus 40 divided by 5 gets cancelled here, 4 plus 21 by 5. So everything is positive value, so therefore you can remove the modulus. That is why I have removed the modulus. So numerator is what? 71 divided by 4 plus 21 by 5 is what? 20 plus 21, 41 by 5. So that 5 goes up, so you will get the answer 355 by 41. Let us see what is there in the next page. Example 27. The distance between the parallel lines ax plus by plus c1 is equal to 0 and ax plus by plus c2 is equal to 0 measured along the line having inclination theta. So these parallel lines I have marked here. See the diagram. So let ax, no point is given, so I am taking a point x1 comma y1. Any point you can take. Through that I am drawing a line making an angle theta with the positive direction of x-axis here. This is my x-axis. So that means I have drawn a line whose inclination is theta. Tan theta is the slope. Okay. So from this point I have drawn this line. So along this line, having inclination theta along this line, what is the distance between the parallel lines? So this line intersects the two lines at P and Q. We have to find P and Q. Okay. So from this point A, using the previous formula, you can find AP, and also you can find for the second line AQ and subtract them. Okay, previous formula AP is what? AX1 plus BY1 plus C1. This point we have to substitute in the first line, divided by A cos theta plus B sin theta. Don't take modulus here. Okay. Then AQ is what? For the second line, previous formula. This point we have to substitute in the second line, divided by A cos theta plus B sin theta. Then what is PQ? PQ is nothing but AP minus AQ. So AP minus AQ, if you subtract this from this, denominator is same, numerator you will get C1 minus C2. So after that you can take modulus. So therefore the final formula is mod of C1 minus C2 by A cos theta plus B sin theta. Okay. Let us see what is there. The intersection of two straight lines. So this is a theory point. The point of intersection of the lines A1x plus B1y plus C1 and A2x plus B2y plus C2 is given by this formula B1 C2 minus B2 C1 by A1 B2 minus A2 B1 comma C1 A2 minus C2 A1 by A1 B2 minus A2 B1. How you get? Let P x0 y0 be the point of intersection. See the diagram. It lies on both the lines. So in the both the lines we have substituted that it satisfies both the lines. Then you can solve by using the rule of cross multiplication. So therefore x0 by what? Y coefficient constant determinant. Second one you have to take negative minus b y0 by x coefficients and constants determinant 2 by 2 determinant 1 by x coefficients y coefficient determinant. Then you can simplify. In the second step I have transferred this minus sign to the denominator. That is why I got, actually I will get C2A1 minus C1A2, but minus sign here has been transferred to the denominator. So you will get x0 y0. x0 y0 you will get from these three equations. Okay. So this is the point of intersection. What happens if the denominator is 0? A1 B2 minus A2 B1 is 0. Then this point of intersection is not defined. That means what? This happens when? So A1 B2 minus A2 B1 is equal to 0. Then the two lines are parallel. Please note that. If the two lines are parallel, they will not intersect, is it not? Two parallel lines will not intersect. That is why the point of intersection will be undefined. So actually for parallel lines, what is the condition? A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2. So if you cross multiply and simplify, A1 B2 is equal to A2 B1. A1 B2 minus A2 B1 is equal to 0. Actually this is the condition for parallel lines. So then only the point of intersection will not be defined. Okay. Okay students, the time is up. So we'll stop here. We'll see we'll meet in the next class again. Thank you.